Welcome to Positive Philter with your host, Hillard Wilkerson, a podcast that focuses on friends, family, health, and career, with a little self-help along the way. Please join me in this journey for self-improvement, and I hope what I have to share will make you a better person, thus making the world a better place. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you enjoy the show. Hey yo, that was the first time I ever did the countdown. It's your boy Hillard Wilkerson back with another episode of Positive Philter. We're going live.
Special edition.
I'm going live with my boy Hillard. Obviously, we hyped this up as something bigger than what it really is, but
That's a big deal, baby.
But we're going into the new year. Same me. This is episode, and want to just give a little explanation. Me and Hillard, Hillard's in Idaho. I'm in Virginia. But as you know, if you're a listener of Positive Philter, I've been doing this podcast for about 3 years, and kind of bringing it back full circle. I think Hillard, you were one of my first guests. It really got me going with this episode and this podcast, and really gave me some juice and really helped me get started. So I was like, you know what? For my birthday, something to do in a realm of social distancing, something where I can still engage with people, have my friends on here and talk. I thought we would do a special live episode of the podcast. Yeah. And then additionally, what my wife said, one of my goals someday in life is to do a real live episode in front of a physical audience. But this is about as close as we got. So for the listeners thank you, Shay. For the listeners that don't know who we are, Hillard, why don't you give an explanation of who you are? Introduction of who you
are. So I'm Hillard McMorris. I am Philip's best friend. Yes, I'm claiming that title. So sorry, Marcus, and whoever else feel like they have that title, they don't. I live in Idaho now. Been here almost 8 years, dude. July 1st will be 8 years that I've lived here. That's crazy to me. But I'm a school counselor. We meaning me and Philip went through the same counseling program. He actually was the one that was like, "Hey, dude, apply and go for it." So I appreciate that. I tell him that all the time too. Like, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing this. But I love what I do. And so I've been doing counseling now 7 years and stuff. So it's man, like, that's just me now. I got a daughter. She's 5. She's awesome. She worked my nerves today, but that's kids, right? Life is good. Here with Phil.
Well, that's awesome, and that's a great intro. And like I said, I'm Philip. And we both went through the counseling program. We repped Mount Vernon. We went to Northern Virginia. We're from Northern Virginia. And then right now I work at Mason as a career counselor. So we both are products of the Mason Nation, as they say. And so we want to just get right into it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and Dave. You see Dave right above him.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a live episode, and the topic of this is goal setting. And so anyone that is listening right now, go ahead and throw your questions in the chat. So what we're going to do for like the first 30 minutes, me and Hillard are going to have this discussion about goal setting and mindset and all that. But if you throw your questions, I'll make sure we'll get to them, and we're going to answer some questions from the audience as well. So we wanted this to be engaging. So, just kind of thinking about it, right? Let's just get right into the topic about the new year, right?
Yeah.
What are some goals that you have for yourself in 2021?
My main goal, and I think I put that in that Instagram post that I did, but like that, I felt like that really got misconstrued, and I like had to feel like I had to go back and kind of explain myself a little bit. But my main goal this year is happiness, man. And like, and it's just to sustain happiness. Um, for me, especially living here in Idaho, the the time where I get down the most and I'm sad is around the holidays. Just because I have so much good memories from a kid. Um, just always being around family and stuff, and so I miss like my family and my friends, and I say my friends, but like my friends are like, I mean, they know they're my family, you know what I mean? So like, so it's just hard kind of being here, and at times I'm like isolated and stuff, and just like not, I don't like, I have friends here, but I'm just not always around them or have access to them, right? And even if I was living in Virginia, I don't know if I don't think I would have that access as I'm like in my mind thinking I would have, but just being in a closer proximity would be great. You know what I mean? So like but it's just sustain happiness. That's my biggest goal, man. Sustain happiness. Oh, and health, man. And health is on there as well.
So, I saw a coach today. Shout out to Marion Sweatman. She helped me do my first vision board, right? And so, one of the things she charged me with, though, is that is a great goal, happiness and health. But obviously, that could be very broad. And she challenged me to think of goals like SMART goals, right? Like specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So for happiness, right? I know that's such a broad goal. What would be some like ways to like make it for you related to like SMART? Like would you measure that getting happier or doing better with your happiness in 2021?
So like, yeah, and I feel like I was on my way of starting to like do it, right? Of like, all right, I'm gonna go down this path of like for sustained happiness, right? In 2020. And then COVID hit, right? And so then we had to like, then it was just like gotta social distance and isolate. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like I can do that because I kind of like been doing it anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I go around certain people, but I don't go around everybody. But like what I was starting to do was be more engaging, like put myself out there more and hang out more with people instead of just saying, nah, like I'm a chill tonight or whatever. If I was invited out or something, like I would go, or I would even ask people like, hey, like y'all, like you want to hang out or what you doing tonight? Kind of just, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was on that way. So obviously, like when things get back to some sense of normalcy, um, after I get my booster too, bro, yeah, like, in more of a careful way, just start to like kind of put myself out there and like hang out with people, kind of jumping out my comfort zone just a little bit more. So I think that would be it, right?
So basically, are you saying a way that you measure your happiness, and like not say happiness, but social engagement is very big for you in regards to happiness?
It's
And
well,
so
I'm
how do
realizing,
you? So are you saying you're measuring like so? Therefore, the ways that I will make sure I'm engaging with people, that a
yeah,
tangible step
like,
that you would
well,
take,
right,
a tangible
and
step is going out.
yeah, and it doesn't need to be everybody because that's not really me anyway. That's kind of like too much, but to like those people that you know what I mean, like that I want to connect with, like just in having some type of social engagement with them and figuring that out of like how we do that. Um, to kind of just be around them. And because like energy and just, kind of being around people, man, like it's a thing. There's something to it. Like we aren't really meant to isolate and kind of be by ourselves. Like sometimes it's good to recharge, but it's also good to be around people, you know.
So at the beginning of the year, do you believe in that kind of thing? Like, do you set goals every new year, or you think that's
No,
just like, that's like not because people flouter with that and
yeah,
founder with that, or is
yeah.
that so? Is that something you typically do, or you don't?
No, I don't. I used to, but then like I felt like I felt like I was setting these goals. And like you said, sometimes they were so broad, and with them being so broad, I wasn't it wasn't something I was going to sustain anyway. So I struggled to sustain the goals anyway. So I was just like, man, and then I would get discouraged when I wasn't hitting these goals. So like it was a problem. And so I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. So I shifted to just like, all right, instead of like setting like these New Year resolution type goals, I'm just gonna like, all right, wherever I'm at in life or in that at that stage, and it doesn't need to be in January. It's just like, hey, let's recap, let's refocus, reset, and like set some new stuff that I want to accomplish and like move towards them. You know what I mean? So like, so I don't really set goals in January. Like I'll just set them throughout the year. So it's like, oh, this is something I want to do. This is something I want to accomplish. Um, like example I give you, like I'm changing like my whole workout scenario. And Dave, my brother, for the listeners, my brother David, gave me a workout regimen. And I'm shifting it because I want different results in my body. So I'm gonna do that for 6 months of like working out a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like, and that didn't necessarily come
At the new
in
year,
January
it was
or
just, I wanted to,
yeah,
you
it
wanted
was
to
just
shift.
something new. Yeah, it was just something that I'm gonna just shift because you know, like this is what I want to accomplish. And like he told me and helped me to kind of like, all right, man, this is how you can do it. You know, so I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it. You
Which
know,
is which is funny because we have different personalities. I'm the opposite. Like I'm like Maggie says I'm the laziest focused person you ever meet. Where I definitely use like place markers. Like I think that strategically the years are ways for me to set. So I do
yeah,
that every single time I reset. But then I write them down on paper and I'm like laser focused on
yeah.
certain things. But that's also me. I'm different, and I like to use the calendar year. But I've also
I'll
noticed
tell you
that
this though,
COVID jacked me up a little bit too.
and I'll tell you this, you were like probably like my biggest inspiration, dog, to use Google Calendar. Dog, like anybody that know Phil, dog, like this dude is like the Google Calendar guru. Like this dude use Google Calendar for everything. You know what I mean? And so like, but like just seeing like how you set these your goals, you know what I mean? And like you pinpoint them and even just your appointments, man. Like looking at your calendar, bro, like, you know, like it's it's inspirational to kind of see that, like of how you do it to accomplish your things. And I feel like I kind of want to shift a little bit more to the way that you do it. But yeah, I know I can't handle it like going full like how you do it. You know what I mean? But the way you do it though, like you are, yeah, yeah. See, I told you. And so you know we got to say in the comment. Who's that, Dorothy? Yes.
Yes, and Christy, my two. Yeah, but like I would joke with them, but I think Maggie too. I think that we have to be on the same system. I'd use the calendar with my family to stay. We have to use that calendar to stay good. But I think we have a difference, right? Like I might be laser focused. You're a little bit more flexible, and I think that's beneficial because I was reading something about people that are over focused on goals, they beat themselves up when they don't get them, right? They're not as probably as flexible and adjust on the fly as much as you. But then on the flip side, you might benefit from my strategy of being a little bit more focused. So we got to find that balance, right? Like hard concrete deadlines, but then also be like, oh, okay, these are rolling goals. Like deadlines change, or we got to go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's what we're learning from each other in this conversation.
Yeah. Because sometimes, man, like, and I'll tell you this, like being flexible, sometimes I'll just be like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll do that next month. Like
Yeah.
I'll push it off, bro. Like seriously. And then 6 months passed, dog, and
Mhm.
I haven't even started. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so like, and then I get discouraged. And so then it's like this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like then I got to go through like the cycle. So it's like, yeah, like you said, got to find that balance, right? To be more like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like so, I'm like learning. Like when like something comes up now, like somebody's like, hey, or whatever. Like I had just found it. I found a new barber here, right? And usually, like I cut my own stuff. Like I do my own like hair and beard and stuff. But like I want my beard like done professionally, and it looks great. And I found a new barber, right? And as we were talking back and forth to schedule the appointment, like once we had it locked in, I put it in my Google Calendar.
Yeah. See.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, this is something Phil would do. Like
Yeah,
that's where my mind went, and I'm like, yo, like,
yeah,
because I'm gonna move toward that just a little bit more. So I'm
yeah,
starting to put like just little stuff like that to practice and put that stuff more in it, so I can just be more of that.
yeah. That's crazy. So, like, I was thinking about this. You know, this is kind of going further way left, but what's your thoughts on visualization? Like, do you feel like that's foo-foo, or do you believe in that? Like, what are your thoughts on, like, visualization
Not like
and that overall theme, and picture it in your mind and you achieve it? What's your thoughts on that?
no, like that's me. Like, man, like man, my mind like is constantly like when somebody like, all right, when I have like a thought or a dream or I get excited about something, like I visualize it, like it turns into like a movie, like in my brain. Like I go to that, like, or when me and any of my boys are like chopping it up and we talking about stuff like, yo, we want to achieve this, or you know what I'm saying, like we see this, and I'm like, so automatically now it turns into this thing in my mind, like, all right, one thing, if you don't mind me sharing, Phil, like you talk about wanting to go
To Ghana.
to Ghana. Yeah, I was gonna say Nigeria, but Ghana,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's real though. Yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
like, but in my mind, dog, like it's already. You should like if you could like go into my mind, I've already like played the whole thing out. Like it's a movie in my head, so like I've already visualized how we gonna be on the plane, like when we get there, what we gonna do, how it's going to like play out, right?
yeah, yeah.
So visualization is a big thing for me. Like, so I don't think it's like I don't think it's you know
Foo-foo or whatever.
foo-foo or a bad
Hocus
thing or something,
pocus.
because
Yeah,
like I feel like that's where it starts.
yeah.
You
I was
know,
about to say, yeah,
it starts there
yeah, because
before it actually becomes a reality and becomes a real thing. It starts right there. Like you start to visualize it first, and then you might bounce the idea off other people, and then from there, like then you like, all right, man, like you get the confidence. You know, you jump over the barrier of fear, which is probably the biggest barrier, and then you start to work at it and put it out and say, yo, like this is what I'm gonna do, right? And then you like even like you might test it first. And then after you test it, you're like, oh dang, like I'm getting some good feedback, you know, and then you tweak it or whatever, and then you just start to run with it. And then you just start grinding until boom, that's it.
yeah.
But
I mean,
it starts.
I definitely believe it starts in the mind. I did my first vision board this year, which I thought was kind of, I don't know. I'm still on.
I saw that.
But you know me, like I'm the experiment with these well-being things and visualization and journaling. I'll try it, see what happens. So I tried it, but like you're right. Like there is times I can tangibly, and I'll share with the listeners. I have goals like where I picture in my mind, like really vividly, like public speaking. Like I picture an audience and I picture it. And then I joke with y'all. I'm like, I picture that conference where we're gonna go to that. Remember, we said we're just randomly going. I'm randomly going to get invited to a conference in Ghana. I don't know why I just say I want to go to Ghana for a conference, and
Oh,
then
let's do it.
but I said I need y'all to come with me in my dream because I don't want to get lost. Like, like roaming the streets. So it's like really,
Right.
really vivid. But I think the more and more I think of my goals, and that's why I'm kind of reverting back to it, is like, I don't know, that doesn't seem as crazy as I thought. Like, you set these like little small goals, but like in my mind, I've always like pictured certain things and it kind of came true, which
Yeah,
is weird. I pictured being a family man. I literally put
yeah,
that in my, like in dreams. I pictured myself being a family man, and now I got a family, which drive me crazy. But I got them. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Um, I did picture having a wife and someone that was like my best friend. Like I didn't know
Right.
who. I didn't picture Maggie exactly, but I pictured someone that was a companion, and that like
Right.
it came true. So like I do definitely believe in that stuff. I think the more and more I get older, the more I'm like, I guess my visualizations are a little bit more in reality, in regards to like what's right in front of my face. But then at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem that crazy to go to Ghana no more. Like it
Yeah.
don't. Like
Nah. And I feel like this
yeah,
too. Like I think sometimes like when we visualize stuff, like we have this great idea and we get excited about it, right? And then after we get excited about it, like then we like come back to reality, and then we put ourselves in this mental box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we had this idea that was like so outside the box, right? And then we come back down and we put ourselves back in a box, and it's like, bro, like stay outside the box with the idea and just run with it. And if it fail, all right, so what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like sometimes and because I mean I know I do it, like, you know what I mean? So it just it's okay for us to stay outside the box, because that's how like something brand new comes about, right? It's those people that are like thinking outside the box, and they have this dream or this vision of something they want to create or they want to provide to humanity, right? And then boom, like we're like, damn man, how the hell I ain't think of that? Or like how that person think of that? You know what I mean?
Well,
That's how those things kind of like come about.
I think that, and this is what I'm learning about the goal setting, and that's why I asked it in combination with visualization, is I think goal setting and visualization kind of need to meet in the middle. So like you have the big things like, wow, I thought outside the box, but then you need to bring it to the tangible and say like, what can I do today that doesn't seem so outside the box to get there? Like for instance, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, in my mind, going to other countries and speaking and all that stuff, that's far away. But then I can think about like, what can I do small wise? One of the small things I could do is this podcast, right? Or I do Toastmasters. Or when someone says, Philip, are you are you ready to just do a random speech? I'm like, yeah. And so like, I feel like that's setting me up for that long-term thing. So it's like a combination. Like you got to dream big, but then you got to do like little normal things, like really normal things to get there. You know, like I'm sure all football players that dream of being champions, they visualize the championship, but then they do the little boring thing, which is like throwing the ball a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? Like like drills.
Exactly. And you take it to sports, man. Yeah. You look at like, you know what I'm saying? Like every like clutch, like athlete, right? They like when they talk about it, they visualize this from like a kid, man. And you go outside, like how many times you see people on a basketball court? I used to do it. I'm not a basketball player. I'm not that great. Like I'm okay, but like I can't, man. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many people way better than me, right? But there's so many times as a kid, I would go out there 3, 2, 1 and throw up a shot, right? Just visualizing like making the game-winning shot type of thing, right? And so it's like, yeah, it's like you do that stuff and you practice it, right? So like, yeah, that goes exactly with what you're saying.
So what's the difference between visualization and manifestation? You know, like people always, I feel like that was the new buzzword or a buzzword for a lot of people, like manifest. Like I was like, what are they talking about? What you think about?
I think it's just doing. I think at that point it's just doing. It's just and I'll say that for me, like my biggest thing, like it's just doing, you know. And for me, what stops me a lot of times from doing is like here I have this thing that like I really care so much about, and like I don't want it to fail, and like it's the fear. It's the fear of it failing, like makes me not want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So then like I never like it. So then it makes it so hard to get to that manifestation part of it, and just trying it and doing. It's just is like to me, manifesting is just doing.
That's what you think?
You know,
because I think a lot of people, some other people think like manifestation is like law of attraction. Like you put out, mentally you put out, and physically you put out, and then eventually it attracts you. Like you manifest it, right? Like I don't know, like you keep on like what that like manifestation in a sense where people are like you write it down a bunch, you write it down so much that it gets ingrained in your brain. But then like I think what you said is that you grain it so much that your body goes into autopilot and you do what you manifest.
Yeah, I
don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of agree.
That makes sense too.
Like, I mean, like I say, like I guess like if you said like I'm smart, like every single day, and then you start like not manifestation, but then you're like, what does a smart person do? Like the actions. Smart person reads. Smart person writes and reads and all that. So I guess you kind of like you put the words in your head so much that your body you start to automatically do, or not automatically, but you start to think like what they do, and then you live it. I don't know. That's kind of my thought on manifestation, right? Like you put it out so much, but you also put it out as in like your thoughts, your energy
Yeah,
into it. And then
yeah,
ideally I say it comes true, but in some variation, you get the response of what you put out.
right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I,
think it was the buzzword.
yep.
I mean, I think we can all say that manifestation without agency is illusion. It's not, doesn't make no sense. Like if you keep on saying you're going to do something and manifest it, but don't do any actions tangibly related to it, it's not going to come true. So
Yeah.
like, so it's like,
I mean, I think it just stays in that vision state.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like, oh, I have this idea and I have this dream.
and
You know what I'm saying? So it's like at some point you got to try, you got to do, and yeah, definitely speaking to myself right there. So
so do you have a past example of a goal you really set and you like knocked it out the park? And can you take us through that?
goal did I? Oh, bro, like yeah, losing weight.
Yeah, I was about to say yeah.
Yeah, easy,
Yeah. So tell us
bro.
now,
Like
take us through that journey because I know you had a crazy journey. I remember you told us that you was like, yo, I'm gonna just tell the track story where you just got on
oh,
the
so
track.
oh yeah, I was so at this point like I was 335 pounds, right? And I was at Coastal Carolina. And so like I'm just like, man, I gotta start losing this weight. Like I'm like done, man. Like at that point, like football was over. I'm done, and all that. So I'm just like, yo, I can't keep carrying this weight. It's just too much. Like, man, like all right, South, like the South, everybody knows East Coast, South, it gets humid in the summer. Bro, I used to walk across campus, man, and I had to have a sweat rag. You know what I'm saying? And a sweat rag is basically just a washcloth that I'm walking with. And like I have to walk with it, dog, because I'm sweating so much to just walk across campus. And I'm not walking at a fast pace. It's just because I'm so big, bro, and I'm trying to walk across campus and I'm just sweating a ton. So yeah, so I was just like that for me, the point, the
The
when
tipping
it was just
point.
like, yo, this is too much, like I grabbed my jeans and see, yep, see, Rashad know exactly what I'm talking
He was in
about.
North Carolina. He was in North Carolina. He know about that y'all too, yo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I had to grab my jeans, like the cuff of my jeans, and pull it up to put it on my knee to tie my shoe if I didn't want to bend over to tie my shoe, my foot on the ground. And I was like, all right, yo, time for me to change. Like, all right, I gotta do something. So what I started doing is I got on Nutrisystem, right? And then like, man, I was so strict on Nutrisystem, dog. Like they provide you with a breakfast, they provide you with a lunch, a snack, um, a dinner, and a dessert. And then if you're eating in between, it needs to be something very light and it needs to be something healthy. And so I'm going from eating fried food and everything like with sugar and all this crap to eating super healthy. Like my body like went through withdrawals, man. So like it was so hard to like really change my diet. But then I just started like going out instead of going out to parties on Friday nights and Saturday nights. Like I would go to the track, and so like and I would run. And at the beginning, like it was like run walk, and like it was like I would run and I would go to the track and I would run the curves and walk the straights. And sometimes like I would alternate that. Sometimes I'm running the straights and walking the curves, right? And I just stuck at it to the point where I just started being able to run. And running was like then that became my thing, like to the point where like the weight started like falling off. Dog, I was running like 10 miles, like easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like go out there like on an afternoon, like after work or something, I'm running 10 miles, like easy. You know what I mean? So it just, but yeah, it's a goal. I know I needed to lose weight. I didn't want to die young, and I knew I needed to be healthy for just like for living a longer life. And I was like, yo, I got to get this under control. You know what I mean? And so like, and that was it.
That's
You
crazy.
know?
That's a great story. That I mean, like I said, I think I use that story because I saw it. Like physically, and it was a tangible way of hitting goals. And I think that kind of allude to what we said earlier. It was like you saw yourself losing weight, but you realized that it was like small little actions: run the straights, walk the curves, run the straights. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't like you started running 10 miles like that.
Nah,
and so I think you chased that goal.
Yeah.
So I think we're at the.
What for you?
I don't know, starting this podcast. I was about to say, like, I think one of the things I could say in regards to starting, I remember starting a podcast, and I remember one of my goals, like legit, was at least make it to 10 episodes in more than 6 months. Because somewhere I read a statistic, like most podcasts die before 10 episodes, or because people quit before 6 months.
Right.
So that was just my only thing, make it to 6 months. And then I was like, let me make it to 100 episodes. And then, I don't know. I think it was just more like just right in front of my face. Like this year, I'm like, I want to just hit 300 numbers of recordings. That's it. So it was similar to that. Like it was more like at the first part, I was like, I just want to start it and not quit. Now that I'm in it, and I know it's not really about quitting now, it's more like, okay, just what's something right in front of my face in regards to this podcast. Not crazy. Like
right.
I'm not. I'm not thinking about 1 million downloads or anything crazy like that. I'm just thinking like, let me get to 300 episodes, maybe, get a sponsor or something, get more guests, get some guests that I really want to talk to, and those are it.
Who's a guest?
I can't put them out there. Okay, well, one of my ultimate goals in someday in life is to interview J. Cole.
There you go.
But I've already said that like a bunch of times. So maybe I might add him. But that's my main goal.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the beginning part of manifestation. There you go. Gotta put it out there. Just throw it out there.
Small things. So let's answer some questions from the listeners. We do actually have some, and keep them coming. We're gonna throw them in there.
Zoom room. People saying,
there's Zoom. Oh yeah, that's she's talking about how I got the award. Make sure that I pay attention.
Like I was seriously about to text you. I was sitting there. I was like, he does, and I showed up like 2 minutes early too.
I didn't
and
see
like,
it.
It was crazy. Like,
I was focused.
And I felt bad. I had to rush and go because I was at work, so I had to and I knew I had a busy day that day. But yeah, I was seriously about to text you like, dude, what are you doing? Like you could tell like you was not focused.
I was focused. Now I'm on live. I'm focused. All right. So our first question is, how do you approach goal setting without being overwhelmed by forward thinking? Good question, Christy. I would say real quick, the one thing I do is, like I said, like I like to dream in the future and all that stuff. But then I really, really try to focus like what's it? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So like, what can I do? Like, what can I really do that's actually toward this? That's not overwhelming. And so that's how I try to break it down. Like I make it less overwhelming. Looking at the future, it's like if there's something I can actually do, like that's realistic, and can celebrate a little victory.
Yeah, focus the steps, right? Like achievable steps, like where you're at in that point of time in life. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, I can do this right now. And then, you know what I'm saying, like maybe a month later or something, you can achieve the next step and stuff like so. It's just breaking it down into steps.
Here's the next one. How do you set goals for yourself within your career, considering the structures and environment? Reverse engineer. That's kind of what I do. I look at people that are ahead of me, like legit one step ahead of me, not the CEO or the biggest top boss, but just the person that's like one notch above me. And I say, what do they do that I can't do? Or what are they doing that I'm not doing? And then I try to use that person almost like remember in track where you used to follow the rabbit in track? Like you literally, before you oop them, you would like chase them and stay on their heels and then you pass them. I do that in regards to career. Like I look at the person that's like right in front of me and say like, what's their pace? How do they do it? And then like, what are they doing? And asking questions. That's where the informational interviews and asking them questions. But I usually use people I look up to as placeholders.
Right.
So that's how I set goals for myself career-wise, or for people that are placeholders that are right in front of me.
Yeah. And I say, yeah, and agreeing with you with your track reference. I didn't run. I just understand the analogy. But like, yes, I did not run or chase anybody. No.
Yeah.
It was not
And I got
my
ooped.
lane.
I definitely got ooped. Where's another one? There's another question. Okay, here's a question. It says,
yeah.
When you set up goals, do you use categories, and how do you choose the area that is most critical? So I'm smiling because Dorothy knows she's like a plant in the audience. Ask a question, she knows that I'm about to address. Yeah, I did for this year. Did set categories for my goals. Like health goals. I want to lose some weight. Family relationship goals. I want to be, more present with Bennett, my son. So I just put them in pockets, because I feel like if I put them in pockets and categories, not to say it's a nice, neat little bow, but it just felt like
right.
it's almost going back to Christy's saying, like, it feels like I just want to be the best. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Well, I want to be a better version of myself. That's like so broad. So I feel like categories help me like find some security in it and like some belief in it. And like it like made it more realistic. Is like it was in boxes. So I did set goals as they relate to work and family and fun. And I don't know the how did I choose it? I mean that part was random. Like I was just like I just picked some random categories. It was kind of like
Jeopardy.
Throw 'em out a hat. Yeah, that was like Jeopardy, where he was like, what does these mean? I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I think health is a good one. Work. I mean, I try to think of like my main roles in life. You know what I'm saying? Like things that I do.
Yeah.
Like, I had my podcast goals. I had my family goals, and I had like work because I go to work, and then some money goals. I'm sure people out there could have a billion different categories. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll tell you one thing. Like my thing is like read more. And so like I bought bought more books. And just like, and just like open up myself to read more. Cause like I don't read, like I read a ton of articles. Like I go to articles so much more quicker than I've gone to books. And so like now I'm just like, man, let me go to books like more. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so like it's just the area that like now that I've started to explore it, I'm like, yo, I'm loving this. Cause I'm gaining so much from like sitting down and like reading a book. You know what I mean? Like, and I never thought I'd be that person. So
I wanted we get some more questions, because I think that was definitely. What books do you want to read?
Oh, I got two that I just haven't started yet. I got the James Baldwin book. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It's sitting over there on my thing. Sitting over there on my counter. I just haven't read it yet. But I got a book from James Baldwin. And I got a book from
I'm Not Your Negro. That one?
Yes, I'm Not Your Negro. Yes. So I bought that one. And then I got a book on Marcus Garvey. So I got those two books that I'm gonna read next. And then I got a couple more books that I want to buy. Right now, like I'm really just into like social justice type of books. So like that's where I'm kind of gravitating towards. But like, yeah, I mean, and like in the past, like, just random books, like fictional books, anything, like, and I think they really help with just your imagination, you know what I mean? And just open up your mind.
Got another one. Do you actually take notes or highlight when you read books?
I don't. Like, I take notes. Like, I take notes, but I don't like highlighting the book. And I think that just speaks to like my personality of just like being such like that neat person.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up the book. Yeah,
I don't want to mess up the book, right? But then like when I get a book from somebody that highlights it, right? I appreciate the highlight that's in the book. You dig what I'm saying? But like I won't do it, but I appreciate the highlight that's always in the book. I just never do it because like it's just I feel like I'm being messy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if that makes sense. I don't know.
Well, this is a pretty deep question next. How about this one right here? Do you have a goal in life?
My sister.
Yeah, do you have a goal in life that you can't seem to fulfill, no matter how hard you try. And, let me rephrase the answer right now. I mean, I guess like a really in front of my face is I've sabotaged, losing weight and eating like crap. But I don't think I have an overall life goal that I really just I'd never chased it with it didn't happen. And the reason why is that I think that kind of similar to the flexibility is that I don't think I've ever been so focused on a goal, so laser focused that it was all or bust for me, I definitely wanted to have a family and stuff. And those I think are pretty laser focused goals, but I don't think, I always wanted to deadlift 600 pounds and I always got close in powerlifting meets. I tried really hard. And I would get close. I'd go to powerlifting meets and training. I would pull like 586 and all that. And then I go to a meet and they would load up the bar with 600 and I just couldn't get over my knees. But then at the end of the day, though, I was always proud of myself for even lifting up like more than 575. Like I was still proud of myself for even pulling it off the ground. But I think that would be my goal. Like it was a weightlifting goal. I was training very hard and I just wouldn't get it. It just would never happen. So that could be your answer for that one for me.
So the two that comes to mind, right? There's two that comes to mind for me. All right. The first one is like the NFL, right? I felt like I tried hard, but bro, like sometimes it's just not in your cards. Like it just don't matter, right? Because it's like less than like 0.000001% of people make it to the NFL, right? So, but I felt like I tried hard. Obviously, you look back and you're like, man, I could have tried harder in these areas, right? But I felt like I worked hard. But with my height and all that, just wasn't in the car. And the second one, and maybe everybody that's listening and everybody can help me to achieve this goal because I feel like it's still achievable at some point. Is to marry Rihanna. Like dog, like I really want to marry her. So let's all like come together and help me to marry her. I love her. Okay.
Tag her.
So let's make this happen.
Okay,
all of us. Let's work really hard to allow me to achieve this goal.
My next goal is to pay off my life membership for Alpha. So I'm gonna put my Cash App in the chat. It'll fill 500. Help me reach my goals to pay off this life membership or any bills that I have. Thank you. Yo. Hey, so this is a great episode. I know I didn't want to keep everyone long. I think we said we was gonna hit the 4 mark. I don't want to continue to ramble. We had an audience and people tuning in. Shout out to Christy, Dorothy, Althea, David, Rashad, Moki, J Bell, all those people. Shay at the very beginning. Thank you so much for everyone that listened. All the people that listen. So obviously, this is the part of the show. Well, actually, let's do two things. Let's do a random shot for shot, like every other episode that I do, and then we'll do the shots and plugs. So, shot for shot. What's your random question for me, or whatever?
Bro. And I ask this for everybody, bro. Like, why do you only get a shape up like every 5 months? I feel like everybody wants to know this answer.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know, man. It's just that you're doing things. I don't know, man.
Everybody wants to know this, dog. Like,
I don't know, but it's not a priority. I ain't gonna lie. One time I did say get a haircut once a month, but that lasted like 1 month.
Haircut should be every 2 weeks, man.
No.
Haircut every 2 weeks.
I look a new person, don't I? I look fresh. I don't know. I like to surprise people and come out brand new, so that's why.
Oh, you look like a whole new person, dog. You didn't even look like the Phil I posted today on Instagram, dog. I'll take 2 of those.
Oh man, dang, that was a good question. All I don't know how to respond to that. Yeah. Why do you like Hennessy, and why is it not overrated while I drink it?
No, there's no other liquor that ages the way cognac ages, right? And Hennessy is a cognac, right? So like bourbon just doesn't age the way like cognac ages. Okay, like so it tastes significantly better over time. All right, so we're gonna get that out the way. All right. Hennessy was like the first liquor I drank. I don't know, man. It's like my first love, man. I just fell in love with it, like off the break.
I thought I was about to just say you're influenced by rap culture.
Nah, it was the first liquor I drank. And I just thought it tastes really good. And so I just kept drinking it.
Well,
And
that was a great.
it's one of the few liquors like you'll like see me drink to this day still.
Maybe we'll get sponsored by Hennessy. How'd that look? A positive podcast sponsored by Hennessy.
Oh, that'd be dope. That means you bringing in some bread.
But it'll be positive. Thank you.
Bread.
Well, I don't know. That was a random comment. I don't think we have any more questions from the listeners. So this.
Oh, I still got a shot though. No, I got one more shot.
What, that was it? A shape up one? That wasn't your shot?
No, I got another one.
Okay,
all right, and y'all know, man. Anybody that know me and Phil, dog, like I just be frying Phil, but I love him with everything, dog. Ain't nothing I wouldn't do for this dude. Like honestly, like this dude can ask. He can be like, "Yo, Hill, yo, we about to go rob a bank." I'm like, "All right, let's go." Like nothing I wouldn't do for this guy. This is my guy. Why are your glasses crooked?
I was wondering when you were gonna say something. When he was gonna say something. My glasses broke. And then Maggie got this glass kit with the screw, but I think one screw was too long. So they showed my glasses been crooked. My glasses been crooked for like 3 weeks. And no one, I'm walking around and foggy. Hey, come on now. And
air foggy. Hold on, air foggy.
No one said anything. Everyone just lets me walk around with crooked glasses. I thought if I tilt my head, it looks straight.
Nah, bro. That don't look like you got in a fight. Like I'm like, yo, who fought him? Like why? Like
I don't know, man. No, they now that I'm standing straight up. My head, my glasses are mad crooked.
Mad crooked, bro. Like half of your glasses, like half of it is like below your eyebrow. The other joint is like above your eyebrow. Like it's tilted bad.
Dang, I'm getting fried.
But it's all good though.
All love. Well, thank you so much. I need to fix my glasses and my hair, my shape up.
Nah, just get it. Yeah, nah, shape up. There's contacts.
They're part of the century. I don't know. I think KO. Hey, and this I know this is morbid, but Hillard, everyone knows that full range. When my time has come, you have full permission. This is all in front of all the listeners right now to do a roast session of me for my eulogy.
Bro,
if you
like
don't,
we've already
if you don't, then you didn't respect my life correctly.
Like we've talked about this, and we talk about this in our group, right? In our Instagram group that we got with me, you, Jay, Armand, Omar, Chuck, and Dave, right? And I said too, like, yo, it's gonna be in my will. Y'all gotta show up. Y'all gotta have those corny T-shirts. Y'all gonna be eating Popeyes and drinking Hennessy, and y'all gotta fry me, dog. And I'm not worried. I'm not even like, because I know I'm gonna get fried. I'm gonna tell you this. This is how I know I will. There would be zero hesitation to fry you or me. Like, so I posted because every so I try to do it every year, right? At the end of the year, I try to recap, right? Like how the year was for me. And so and I did it. And then in my recap of the year, right? That's where I told you things got misconstrued, right? To where I talked about my aunt, what we call her mama, because she was just the big mama of the family, right? And then I talked about Brooklyn, my dog, or whatever, right? And just talking about where I started 2020 at, and really wanting to be around my family versus where I ended 2020 at, and being able to bring Maddie back home and like her being around everybody and just how things kind of came full circle, right? And I posted pictures with that, right? In one of those pictures, dog, you can go back and you'll look and you'll see it. Dog, I don't have shoes or socks on. And it's a picture with me and Yimmy, right? And dog, I'm on like a 5-hour flight from Baltimore to Vegas. The second I touch down, right? I turn my phone on. I get all these crazy text messages because people thought my mom died, right? And so like I'm like, no, my mom ain't died. Like it was my aunt, and it happened early in the year, so I had to go through and kind of explain that part. But dog, then I looked in our group, man. They wasted no time, bro. Started frying my feet.
Yeah.
And of course, like Charles jumped in, Armand jumped in, like everybody just started frying. Like that's why I know, man. Like we gonna be all right. Like they're gonna hold us down.
They're gonna hold our legacy down.
They're gonna hold us down, man.
The legacy continues.
They're gonna hold us down. We're gonna be all right.
Well, it's been a great show. Obviously, this is
Yes,
a little
sir,
live.
man.
We're gonna I'm gonna release this for real on the iTunes. Yo, when you get old, you start saying "the" in front of stuff.
Duh.
The iTunes, the Spotify. Yo, why is Dorothy frying me too?
Oh, the socks and slides.
Yo.
Oh, but I do that.
I do that too. I do that. That's the grill. That's the grill attire. But I lost my train of thought because that was actually funny. I was thinking about it. But this is the part of the show. Obviously we're gonna put this on the iTunes, the Spotify's, and all that. And definitely appreciate it. This was my little way of celebrating my birthday in a non-conventional way. Definitely wanted to do it with my best friend. He was always down. And definitely appreciate everyone that just showed me love today on my birthday. This is, obviously the word of the day is unprecedented times. But hopefully you learned something from two people that kind of you would think of as like goal setters, but we're big time goal setters and visualization and manifestation, positive gurus, as you say. I'm just calling myself positive gurus, but
and still don't have it all figured out. Like
not at all.
Do not put that category of.
Well, obviously I don't have it figured out because my glasses is still crooked.
Go ahead, chill out.
But with that being said, I think this was a great. I wanted to just do this and engage with people, and this is fun for me. This podcast, and I couldn't have thought of doing it with anyone other than you. My
Appreciate you, bro.
Ace Boon Coon. I don't know. I think that's an old school term, but either way, this is great. Follow Positive Philter. Now, this is the part of the show we call shout outs and plugs. So I guess I'll go first. Plug, you're actually listening to it. Please follow Positive Philter on all the platforms. Also got a new show called Positive Philter Short Takes, which is a shorter episode, which I'll throw in the chat while Hillard's doing his because I got to find it. But follow for a follow. Follow at Positive Philter on all the platforms, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. Definitely show that some love. And then shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my wife, Maggie, for being an amazing wife. Shout out to my sons, Bennett and Miles, the crazy kids. Shout out to my family, all the Jameses, all the Wilkersons. Shout out to you, Hillard. Shout out to MP2. Shout out to On Mothers. Shout out to the Alphas, 06. Shout out to Dorothy and Christy and all the people that I work with at Mason. Shout out to Shay, my favorite Delta. Put that out there right now. Shout out to, I'm probably gonna miss a lot of people. Shout out to everyone that wished me happy birthday, because you took the time to, I know that even if it popped up on your news feed, like it's Phillips Wilkerson's birthday, you at least took the time to write and text something. So I appreciate you for that. So shout out to everybody all over the world. Shout out to Enrique Esteban, who just commented right now. Shout out to everybody. All right, those are my shout outs, and that's my plugs. Go ahead, Hillard.
Oh, shout out to you, bro. It's your birthday, man. Happy birthday, man. I wish I was there to celebrate with you. But even if I was there to celebrate with you, I couldn't actually be physically there celebrating with you just because of COVID.
We could be outside, cold.
yeah, we'd be outside, like, but man, yeah, shout out to you, bro. Like, you are probably like, you're the most positive person I know, and just um and I appreciate you, man. Like, we are definitely brothers, man. Like, the only thing that separate us is just the blood, but that's it, man. Like, you're just that guy for me, like, you'll always be that guy. Um and everybody, like, probably look at it as like, oh, Hill's the big bro. Nah, bro, like, you're the big bro.
I'm
Like,
actually
you know what
older
I'm
than
saying?
you.
Like, you're older than me, exactly, and you are the big bro, which is like, but like, you know, I love you, bro. Like, that's what it is. So shout out to you first, man. And I hope this was in this type of situation was a good birthday for you, and served as a good, like, celebration for you. Um, so yeah, man, I love you, bro. So, and then to my brothers, Dave, DJ, Lincoln, my sister, Andrea, Althea, and then my boys, man, Jay, Armand, Omar, Yemi, Larry. I'm gonna
Chuck,
forget somebody.
oh,
Chuck P. Um, and everybody else that I probably forgot. Like, I don't want to take up too much time. Um, but yeah, to my daughter, I love her with everything. Um, as to why I'm still here in Idaho. Um, but yeah, it's nothing. She is in her bed right now. I'm looking at the camera. Um, Supposed to be sleeping, but she's just watching her iPad, and that's okay with me. Do your
shout
thing.
out to her.
Yeah, you know. Um, so yeah, my mom, my dad, shout out to them. And to Maggie, to my two nephews, you know what I'm saying, Bennett and Miles. Miles the bully.
Your
Um,
godson. You're
you know
crazy.
what I'm saying? That's the homie. Yeah, man. Shay. Um, yeah,
Can I t- can I tell
it's great.
can I tell a random story real quick? We're gonna end the podcast on this, but I'm gonna tell a random story. So this Bama, your godson Miles came home, and we looked in his backpack this week, and we opened his backpack, and we looked inside. It was a toy camera, and this Bama, we took out the toy camera, and he's like, "Say cheese." I said, "Where you get that camera from?" And he said, "From school." I said, "That's not your camera." He said, "Yes, it is." I said, "Whose camera is that?" He's like, "Leighton's." I said, "What?" So we teach the teacher. This Bama took someone else's camera, put it in his book bag.
Stole it? You stole it? Oh,
He took a toy camera, and this Bama said, "Say cheese." Yo, you're a bully.
and if we know the whole backstory, though, Miles probably bullied him. Is like, yo, my camera.
No, he's like his friend. He said his friend Lathan gave it to him. So that's your
Oh,
godson.
that could be good. Yeah. Oh, that dude is so funny, man. He's so hilarious.
Yo, he's actually pretty funny.
It's
So thank
funny.
you so much. I think that was a good story to end on. Thank you, everyone, for
Sure.
spending your time with us this hour. I know.
Make sure you follow Positive Philter, man. Follow. Tell your friends to follow. This joint needs to, like, it's blowing up, and it needs to continue to blow up, man. Like, Phil is he's just doing great things, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just everybody follow, please.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta throw the please in there.
Yeah, say it like that too, like you're desperate. Please follow. And help me fix my glasses. And so everybody, please listen to the show. You know, the phone number 571-336-6560. That's the podcast hotline. Follow all the platforms. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in live. And I really appreciate it. This is the best way for me to spend my birthday with Hillard and all my friends in a virtual space. And we're out. Thank you for listening to Positive Philter, a podcast that focuses on family, friends, career, with a little self-help along the way. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your family and friends, and like the Facebook page, Spreading Positivity of Movement. Thanks for listening.